What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope everybody enjoyed their week and is ready to conquer the week that is, man. Oh, man. All right, so for today's vlog, we are going to get into recapping the biggest party of the summer, and by that I mean we're going to be talking about everything that went down at SummerSlam this past Saturday night, the 36th annual SummerSlam, I should say, went down in Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. All right, man. So there were no pre-show matches, as there usually are, that accompany these premium live events, as WWE likes to call them. I still call them pay-per-views for nostalgic purposes, and premium live event just sounds weird. Anyway, there were no pre-show matches, but kicking off the night was Logan Paul and Ricochet. So Logan Paul, huge megastar, YouTube sensation, millions of followers, and now he has decided to dip his toe into the world of professional wrestling. And love him or hate the guy, regardless of the man that he is outside the ring, you cannot deny what he's done inside the ring. Coming from a wrestler himself, he has definitely put in the work, and he takes this business seriously, love him or hate him. And as far as a wrestler, I cannot take anything away from him. He is a hell of a performer, hell of an athlete, a hell of a showman, very charismatic, and has all the tools to have quite the career for however long he chooses to pursue it. And as far as his opponent Ricochet goes, man, severely underrated performer, known for his high flying acrobatics and all that good stuff, man. So those two went at it. Prior to their one-on-one encounter at SummerSlam, they created some viral moments. The famous mid-air collision at the Royal Rumble this past January, and then again at Money in the Bank, when they created a viral moment by doing a Spanish Fly, which is where the initial person executing the move takes the other person, and it basically does a backflip, and it hurts the opponent. It hurts the opponent doing the taking the move as well as giving the move, and so it's and they did it through a table, and it looks so gorgeous when executed properly. But these two were out to kill each other, and at SummerSlam, they sought out to do just that as well. So in the end, Logan Paul, using his villainous tactics or clever tactics, however way you want to look at it, picked up the win against Ricochet by using a pair of brass knuckles, and knocking out Ricochet for the 1-2-3 victory. Reason why this match went on first was because Logan's brother Jake was having a boxing exhibition in Dallas, Texas on the same night that SummerSlam was, and Logan asked to accompany his brother Jake, so he did just that after the SummerSlam victory. Apparently his brother Jake wasn't so lucky. No, his brother Jake actually took the unanimous decision against Nate Diaz. Excuse me, I was about to say he was so lucky. He wasn't so lucky as Logan was. But yeah, huge night for the Paul family, and yeah, it's big ups to Logan Paul. Love him or hate him, like I said. And then next up, you had Brock Lesnar taking on Cody Rhodes. This was the rubber match in the trilogy between those two. First match, Cody Rhodes ended up picking up the victory at Backlash this past May. and Brock Lesnar ended up defeating Cody at Crown Jewel back in also at Night of Champions, I should say, back also in May, and then this was the rubber match at SummerSlam, and Cody ended up picking up the win after nailing his finisher Crossroads 3 times. As usual, was a if you've seen a Brock Lesnar match, you know how it goes: suplex, a little bit of ground and pound, a la the UFC, followed by more suplexing. You know how, and maybe an F5 or two thrown in there, and that's exactly how this went. But anyway, Cody ended up grinding through all of that and picking up the victory. And then a bit of an unexpected moment. Brock giving Cody his props and shaking his hand after the match and letting Cody have his moment after his victory. Great match between both those two. Next up was the SummerSlam Battle Royal presented by Slim Jim. This is not, excuse me, this is not Slim Jim's first foray into the world of professional wrestling. If you've been watching wrestling as long as I have, you would know that Slim Jim every year throughout the 90s presented a Halloween Havoc, a WCW Halloween Havoc. So that was this is Slim Jim's first foray back into the world of pro wrestling since WCW folded in 2001, and they sponsored this battle royal. Participants from both brands, both major brands, Raw and SmackDown, and competed. So you had just to name a few: Sheamus, Santos Escobar, Matt Riddle, Otis and Chad Gable, Alpha Academy. Imperium was in there, Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, LA Knight was in there, and almost just a whole slew of who's who of stars was in there, and LA Knight ended up winning the SummerSlam Battle Royal, even though this had no title implications or anything like that. You would think that LA Knight won the WWE Championship with the amazing pop that he got. For those of you who don't watch wrestling, a pop is a major cheer, where everybody stands up and cheers for you. So LA Knight got that, and it was the biggest one of the night for LA Knight, pun intended. So yeah, big ups to LA Knight, man. Also, then after that, you had Shayna Baszler taking on Ronda Rousey in an MMA rules match. The story here was, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey have a rich history, being part of the 4 horsewomen of mixed martial arts, along with Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir. And they've been friends for years, and the story here was that Shayna Baszler is saying that Ronda Rousey did not have to scratch and claw her way into the wrestling business. She got everything handed to her because of her name. She got kind of a backdoor, a push to the top because of how big of a name she is in the MMA world, and Shayna Baszler had to fight, scratch, and claw her way to everything that she has, and friendship turned very bitter, and these two fought out in an MMA rules match with Shayna Baszler coming out on the winning end, choking out Ronda Rousey, and Ronda appears to be on the way out of WWE. As to what's next for her, only time will tell. And then after that, you had Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship. These two big bulls, man, absolutely beat the shit out of each other. you'll recall that if you watch WrestleMania, Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre clash for the Intercontinental Championship in a hard-hitting triple threat match, and this was very similar to that without Sheamus. Without Sheamus, but these two absolutely beat the hell out of each other, and Gunther ended up retaining his Intercontinental Championship after a powerbomb splash combination, and he continues his historic run as Intercontinental Champion, surpassing 400 days, man. I don't know who's going to take that title off of him, but they're going to have a hell of a time doing it, whoever it is. Yeah, man. So, and then you had the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line, with Finn Balor taking on Seth freaking Rollins, the champion Seth freaking Rollins, man. And this story has been 7 years in the making. So 7 years ago at SummerSlam in Brooklyn, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins clashed for the first ever Universal Championship, and unfortunately, Finn Balor ended up getting hurt that night, tearing his pec, and having a serious arm injury, keeping him out of action, and he never got his rematch for the Universal Championship. And Finn Balor has been really bitter about that, and wants to get his hands on the World Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. And but there's another piece in play here. His Judgment Day stablemate, Damian Priest, has the Money in the Bank contract, which allows him to cash in for a World Championship match at any time of his choosing. And that's another thing that you have to look out for, because I believe 85% of Money in the Bank title holders have went on to successfully cash in their Money in the Bank championship on the men's side. Anyway, we'll get to the women's side in a second. But so a really good back and forth match between those two, and Finn Balor was offered the assist of the Money in the Bank briefcase by Damian Priest, but refused it, and actually he hesitated to use it because he didn't want to get disqualified. But by the time he wanted to make a decision on whether or not to use it, Seth Rollins took advantage of him, did his finishing curb stomp maneuver, and ended up picking up the 1-2-3. So Seth freaking Rollins is still your World Heavyweight Champion. Like I said, speaking of the women's side, man, it was a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship, pitting Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair against each other. Asuka defended the title against the aforementioned Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. And great back and forth match between these three women, three SmackDown superstars. Bianca Belair actually ended up picking up the win to become the new women's champion, or so we thought, because shortly after that, Io Shirai, Io Sky, I should say, they call her Io Sky now, who holds the Money in the Bank for the women, ended up cashing in on Bianca Belair to capture the WWE Women's Championship, and Io Sky is now your new WWE Women's Champion. Congratulations to her, man. So overdue, and she is the first woman who competed in Stardom, the all-women's Japanese promotion. She is the first woman from there to hold their World Championship and a WWE World Championship on the main roster. So huge accomplishment for her, and their injured stablemate, Damage Control stablemate, Dakota Kai was out to celebrate with them. Despite her being injured, she's still a few months away from coming back, but she was there to celebrate with them. So it was a full circle moment, because Damage Control, consisting of Io Sky, Bailey, and Dakota Kai, all came back at SummerSlam last year. So definitely a full circle moment for them to have this happen. And in your main event, it was Tribal Combat for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns taking on Jey Uso. Uh, continuation of the. It was a continuation of the classic Bloodline saga. If you watched any of my pay-per-views reviews within the last 3 years, you would hear me say that this is probably the best storyline that WWE has put out in quite a while. So many twists and turns and unexpected things happening, and this was no exception. These two took it to each other, man. But Solo Sikoa interfered and tried to cost his brother Jay hit the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, and no, but that is not where the twist end. Jimmy Uso ended up being the one to cost his twin brother Jay, the championship, and Roman Reigns survives yet another day at 1,080 days now, or 70 something days, 1,070 something days, man. Yeah, just a great continuation of the storyline. I can't wait to see where it goes next, man. And all in all, it was a great SummerSlam. I've been to 8 SummerSlams in my lifetime, and all of them have been great. And this one was great as well. Nothing really to complain about, man. I just enjoy professional wrestling, man. This was a good show. Yeah, so I hope that is my recap of everything that went down at SummerSlam, and that is gonna do it for this episode. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button, and so you don't miss a video. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.